Ladies and gentlemen, the Ball family is back at it in the news again because they did it! They won the JBA World Championship. That's right, they took home the trophy. LaMelo and LiAngelo Ball, let's give them a round of applause for winning the JBA Championship. Just kidding. For those not familiar, the JBA, aka the Junior Basketball Association, is a backwater trash league invented by Lavar Ball to make his youngest son LaMelo look like LeBron in front of a bunch of no-name, unranked high schoolers that everyone knew he was already better than in the first place. From the day that the idea of the JBA was conceived, Lavar publicly stated that LaMelo would be the face of the franchise. If you ask me, the whole thing just seems like a huge publicity stunt to make his sons look better than they actually are. What other high schoolers have won a championship in a league? But this league was made up by the kid's dad, and he won. It seems a little suspect if you ask me. You have to remember, LaMelo's not looking to go to college at this point. He's already lost his eligibility. He's looking to go straight to the NBA, and any NBA scout can see right through this BS. Big Baller Brand went from city to city, handpicking talent to make sure that no one was better than his son playing. And obviously, anyone who was better than LaMelo, they're not going to play in this league. Why would you give up a shot to play at Duke, or Kentucky, or Villanova, to play in the JBA? Now, as far as the kids who did actually try out and make these teams, I understand where they're coming from, because they're not like any D1 talent or anything like that. From their perspective, they're just looking to gain some money and get some exposure at the same time. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. LaVar and LaMelo and Big Baller Brand, they get national media attention. Anyone playing alongside them, they're going to get some decent exposure as well. But, and I say but, the problem with that is that all these kids playing in the JBA are forfeiting their college eligibility in hopes of playing in the NBA directly from the JBA. And I know I'm throwing a lot of lettered BA out there, but anyone who's playing in the JBA isn't going to play in the NBA directly after. You're going to have to seriously work on your game if that's the type of competition you're playing in. And at this point, these kids are just suckers, and that's what I'm going to call them, suckers, because after a whole season of the JBA, I challenge anyone to name me two other players besides LiAngelo and LaMelo. And one of them just came out in the news, Brandon Phillips. I'm going to get to him in a second. You can't include him. Name me two other players besides LiAngelo, LaMelo, and Brandon Phillips from the JBA, and I will call this league a success. Part of the reason for these kids being suckers, it's their fault for signing that contract, and the other part, it's Emperor Lavar. He's not going to let him put up 2 shots without LaMelo putting up at least 50. And then LiAngelo, he just joined. He's got to get at least 70 shots. I mean, it's like Kobe Bryant in his last game. Put up 60 points, but how many shots did he take? Like 100? I want to read an excerpt from my favorite poet, Michael Rappaport. If you don't know who that is, it's this guy.
What the fuck did they do? Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus? I never heard of fucking Latvia. You drafted this fucking kid. You stupid motherfuckers, you.
What the fuck kind of Big Baller Brand bullshit league did they start? Check these stats out. Jello and Melo Ball play on the same team. Jello shot the ball 53 times in one game. Melo shot the ball 23 times in one game. Now I ain't no mathematician, but 53 plus 73, that's 76 fucking shots. Imagine 2 guys shoot the fucking ball 76 fucking times. Who are the other 3 guys on the team? What are they from? Extras casting? Are they even allowed in the locker room? Do they get their ankles taped? Get the fuck out of here with that Big Baller Brand bullshit. 76 times between 2 ball players on one team, fuck out of here. Pass me the rock, motherfucker. I'm open. End quote. And my biggest problem isn't really them shooting the ball that many times, because I expected that to happen. What my biggest problem is that LiAngelo Ball is playing in the league. So he goes undrafted, not really a surprise, but he goes undrafted, and LaVar's like, where's he gonna play? He already played overseas, he did shit there. Oh, I have this own league, I forgot about it. But wait, it's full of high schoolers. Is that gonna be a problem? LiAngelo's like, nah man, it's alright, I'm not really that good anyway. It's like, you're right, LiAngelo, let's get you in there. So this kid, he's like the worst kid on the team. They kick him off to make room for LiAngelo. And now, LiAngelo's like this 20-something-year-old guy. He's like way more developed than all these other kids. He entered his name in the NBA. The rest of these kids aren't even close to that level of talent. And he's just dominating them. And what's worse, he's not even doing it efficiently half the time. So I want to go back to that name I just mentioned, Brandon Phillips. He's the kid I just said who got kicked off the team to make room for LiAngelo. So it just came out, apparently, that he wasn't getting paid, or he's only getting paid 1/3 of what he was promised, and what he was promised was $3K. So you're going to give up playing in college for $3,000. Maybe some of these kids are just treating it as a part-time job. I mean, if I was getting paid thousands of dollars to travel the country and play basketball, I'd be about it. But, if they're trying to play professionally, I think the best route is to go play in the NCAA, and you're just going to forfeit that for a few $1,000s. Not really the best business decision. And so once again, this kid, Brandon Phillips, he's claiming that Lavar and the JBA only paid him a third of what they promised, so they gave him $1,000. They said that they were going to pay for all his flights, all his bags, hotel, living expenses, and whatnot. They didn't do that. So, Lavar, what are you doing, man? We see the house, we see the cars. You have your own clothing line. You're charging like $200 for a wristband. Come on, pay the kid a couple K. Though, in reality, none of this should come as a shock to anyone. These kids had a better chance of just going and playing in China. Once LaMelo enters his name in the NBA draft in a couple years and goes undrafted, I think the league will dissolve. And then LiAngelo, he's just going to have to get a job as a cashier somewhere. Because Big Baller Brand, they're going to get sued for something in the future. I see it happening. Their whole family's going to go into bankruptcy. Lonzo, he'll probably disown his whole family. That's just my future prediction. Good luck to Big Baller Brand. I don't really have anything else to say about him. I hope all these kids who got scammed, it all works out for them, They get an education, they get their reimbursement. Moral of the story is, stay in your lane.